Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Chibi Wonder Woman from the Justice League. Let's get started with the eyes. I'm going to start with a circle on the left side. Starting from the top, come around to the bottom, and then back up to the top. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to leave quite a bit of space in the middle here. We're going to line up the tops and draw that circle from top to bottom and then back up to the top. Let's add a little highlight circle on the top left area. So up here, we're just going to draw a smaller circle. And then we're going to tuck the pupil in underneath. So it's going to be center of the large eye. So underneath the highlight, we'll circle around and then up to the side. We're going to color that in black. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So we're going to start with the highlight first, starting from the top. Circle around, and then we'll draw the pupil in underneath. So at the bottom of the highlight, circle around, and then up to the side. We're going to go ahead and color that pupil in black. From here, I want to add in some thick lashes. So on the side on the left here, I'm going to curve up and out. So curving up. Now I'm going to pull that back in and get wider as I come in towards the eye. I'm going to color that in black. Now on the side here, I just want to draw a little bit of a trim. So up here, I'm just going to curve around the eye and then just blend in towards the side. I'm going to color that in black as well. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Starting at the top here, I'm going to curve down and up. And then we're going to curve that back in, just getting a little bit wider as we come in towards the eye. We'll color that in black. Now I just want to thicken it up on the side. So underneath here, I'm going to curve down and just blend in with the bottom of the eye. We'll color that in black as well. Let's give her some eyelashes. So just above the left eye, I'm going to start on the outside here and curve down and in. So coming down and into about there. Now at the end here, I just want to angle up and in like that. We're going to thicken up the eyebrows. So I'm going to start on the side again and just get a little bit thicker as we come in towards the inside of the face. So curving in like that. And we'll color that in black. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Now starting on the inside this time, we're going to line this up and curve up and out just above the eyelash. Now we're going to angle the inside going upwards, and then we're going to thicken up the eyebrow, starting up in the inside, starting off thick, and then just blending to a point. We'll color that in black. Let's move down in between the eyes and draw in the nose. We're just going to draw a little U shape just down here, going up and across. And then below the nose, we're going to draw the mouth. So I'm going to start on the left side, just draw a little curve going over towards the right. Just going across like that. Let's give her some lips. So just in the middle here, just above, we're going to draw a little tiny U shape. And then on the left side, we're just going to blend into the side. So we're just going to go over towards the left side. And then we'll curve down and over towards the right. And then for the bottom lip, we're just going to connect the sides here. So we're just going to go down in the middle, back up on the right side. Let's draw in the bottom of the face. So we're going to start on the left side of the eye, right here. We're going to curve down. It's almost like a half circle, down towards the chin, and then back up on the right side. Starting on the left, curve down and in, right into the middle, just below the mouth. Now we're going to curve back up on the right side. Curve back up to right about there. Now we're going to take this and just draw the inside part of the hair. So now I'm going to take this point, continue over the eyebrows, and down in towards the little widow's peak right here. So I'm going to draw a little point here. Starting on the side, go around the eyebrow. Now I'm going to make my way to that point. So continuing this curve all the way down to a point. Now I'm going to take that point and curve up and around the eyebrow on the right. So curve up and out. I'm just going to blend this in to the side of the head. Let's draw in the headband. So just down here in the middle, in between the eyebrows, I'm going to start with a point. I'm going to take this point and just angle up and out underneath the left side of the hair. Going up. Now we're going to start from the same point and go up towards the right. Going up in an angle, just tucking that in underneath the hair. I'm going to step down from that point and draw another dot. From here I'm going to flare out and just stop a little bit lower than the top of the hair. So it's going to go a little bit wider as you come out. Going out like that. And then the same thing on the right side. So getting a little bit wider as you get up to the top. Now I'm going to curve down the side. So from here I'm going to curve over towards the side of the head. Do the same thing on the right side. So curving down and over towards the right. I'm going to draw a little trim along the bottom. So I'm going to take that curve and just duplicate it underneath, and just tucking that in underneath that little center V. Do the same thing on the right side. Now in the middle, we want to draw in that star. So we're going to start at the bottom first. Starting down here, I'm going to draw 2 angled lines going outwards, almost like a really long V. From these points, I want to come out in an angle, so coming down towards the side. Now I'm going to go back up. So it's going to get a little bit wider as you come up. Now we're going to go outwards, sideways. So from here, I'm going to go up, over towards the left and right. Now I'm going to pull these back in, again, going a little bit wider as you come in towards the center. Now we're going to angle out. Starting from the left side, going up and out. On the right, we'll go up and out. Now we're going to pull these back in towards the middle. It's right about there. Now I want to draw the center point. So from this side on the left, we'll go up with a long angled line, and then we'll come down on the right side. I'm going to take the top of the star and just curve down towards the side of this V here. Curving down. Over towards the left, we'll do the same thing on the right side, just hopefully clearing that widow's peak. We're going to come back to the hair after we've drawn in the body. So let's start with the sides of the body first. So on either side of the chin, right down here, on the sides of the chest, we're going to curve out. Do the same thing on the right side. So we're just mirroring this. So this is basically flipped over on the right side. Now we're going to curve around in the opposite direction towards the hips. So from here, we're going to curve out. On the right, we'll curve out. From here, we're going to draw in the lower part of the belt. So from this hip, we're just going to draw a straight line going across. Now we're going to angle down and in. Coming down to the same height on both sides. We're going to go up with a short angle, going in. I'm going to trace these lines just slightly above it. So starting up here on the left, we'll go across. Now I want to angle down towards the center point, just overlapping that line towards the middle. We're going to go back up on the right side. So we're going up in an angle, and then we'll go across to the side of the right hip. From here, I'm going to draw the center part of the belt. So about halfway along this line, I'm going to go up in an angle towards the middle. We'll come down on the right side. We're going to add a little bit of detail in the belt. So we're going to take these 2 lines and just draw a little line in between. Going across, and then coming down to right about there. And then now I'm going to angle in and up. Do the same thing on the right side. So a little short angled line, going up and just following in between. In the center of the belt, we're just going to draw this little V twice up the center here. Starting at the bottom, draw a V, and then in this area, we'll draw another V. Let's draw on the top of the chest. So just below these points, we're just going to curve down towards the center point. Starting on the left, we're going to step down and curve down towards the middle. Now we're going to curve up towards the right, making sure there's a slight overlap on the ends. Let's draw that little eagle crest in the middle. So just here on the left side, we're going to angle up and in. Do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to curve these down towards the middle, but we're going to leave a little gap in the center. Curving down, curve down. Now we're going to draw on the head of the eagle. So on the right side, we're going to angle up. Now we're going to go across. Going across like this. We're going to take that point and curve down to that bottom point here. So just curving down like that. From the bottom of this point, we're going to come straight down towards the top of the belt with a straight line. Let's add some detail in here. So just about halfway along this line, we're going to curve up to the bottom of the chest. Curving up and out. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Curving down. Now we're going to take this area and split it in half. So right here, about halfway, we're going to curve up and out. We'll do the same thing on the left side. So right here, we're going to curve down and in. We're going to take the top points of the belt and just angle and curve outwards towards the side of the body. Just continuing that curve. And then up here, we're just going to split this. So right here, just draw an angled line coming down. And the same thing on the right. Let's work our way down towards the legs. So from these 2 points at the bottom of the belt, we're going to draw 2 vertical lines. Just coming down like that. We're going to take these 2 points and come down to a center point with an angle. I'm going to draw a little trim on the bottom here. So we're just going to duplicate this V slightly above it. From here, let's draw on the side flaps. So from this corner of the hip, I'm going to curve out and down. On the right, we'll curve out and down. Now we're going to angle in with a short line, coming in. Now we're going to curve back up. So just following that curve, coming up to about there. Now we're going to curve in behind the center flap, curving down. Do the same thing on the right, so curving up to the same height as we have on the left. Now we're going to curve down and in. Let's draw another curve in between the space here. So right on the side, we'll curve down and in. On the right, we'll do the same thing. Let's add a little trim on the sides here. Just drawing an angled line up. Same thing on the right. Let's curve down the insides of the legs. So just underneath this flap, right here on the left side, we'll curve down towards the heel. On the right, we'll do the same thing. Just curving down. Now we're going to curve the bottoms of the feet. So from the heel to the toe, we just want to draw a simple curve going across, making sure they're both the same length. I'm going to take this toe and curve up the top of the foot, aiming towards the heel, but we're just going to go about halfway. From the toe, just curving across like that. Underneath this flap, right about here, we're going to curve down and out towards the top of the foot. Curve down like that. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So starting on the inside, on the top of the foot, we'll curve up and then round out the toe. Now underneath the flap here, we're going to curve down to the top of the foot, curving down. Now let's add some detail to the legs. So on the heel, right on the inside of the leg, we're just going to curve down towards the sole. Do the same thing on the right side, curving down. We're going to add a little trim along the bottom. So taking this curve and just duplicating it just above. Do the same thing on the right side. We're going to draw a little toe cap. So at the top of this curve, we're going to curve down. And then we're going to curve to the back of the heel, like that. Let's do the same thing on the right. So right up here, we'll draw a curve coming down, and then curving up in behind that heel. Let's draw on the top of the boots. So about halfway down the leg, right up here, on the side of the leg, we're going to angle up. Now we're going to curve to the inside of the leg. So curving down and in. Do the same thing on this side. So starting with the front, angled line, and then curve down to the inside of the leg. Let's trim that out. So we're just going to duplicate that just below it. Curve it to the inside of the leg. Do the same thing on the right side. So curving up and then angling down. Let's draw a little shin guard. So just up here, I'm just going to curve down to the top of the foot. On the right, we'll do the same thing. Let's work in the arm. So on this side, I'm going to have her holding a sword. So we're going to start with the outside edge of the arm. So underneath the chin here, I'm going to curve down towards the inside of the elbow. Now I'm going to curve in the opposite direction towards the wrist. Curving across like that. From here, we're going to round out the thumb. So from this wrist point, we're going to curve around and then just swirl this back up in between like that. From here, let's draw on the palm. So this curve right here, from that point in the thumb, will curve down. Now let's layer in some fingers. So on the side of this thumb, we're going to go out and then in behind the thumb. We'll layer in a second finger. So just below this finger, we'll curve around and then just tuck that in behind the thumb. So it's almost like a little sideways oval. Underneath here, we're going to draw one more. So curving around and then just tucking that in. Now with the sword, we're going to draw it in an angle this way. So we're going to start with the handle side down here. So we start with two short angled lines. We'll connect those 2 points with a curve. At the bottom here, we're just going to draw a little half circle. Let's draw on the hilt. So just on top of this finger, we're going to angle up and out. We're going to do a short angled line. Now we're going to trace this back, coming back down just above the fingers. Now we're going to go across the hand like this. Going across. Now we're going to take this point, just flip it over. So that from this point here, we're going to go up, and then we'll just tuck this in behind the thumb. In the center here, we're just going to draw an angled line going out to the tip of the sword. So going up to the tip, we're just going to draw a short sword like that. Up here, we're just going to angle out, two short lines. Now we're going to come back down into the sword with two straight lines, coming straight down on either side, like that. Now let's draw on the back side of the hand. So from this wrist, we want to come around behind the sword handle. So right here, curve around, and then in towards the wrist on the outside. Underneath this palm, we're going to curve and tuck this in underneath the body. In this elbow point, we're just going to curve around for the arm guard. Now we're going to draw a little trim. So draw a little traced curve there, and then one more right by the hand here. Now the arm on this side, I'm going to have her holding the shield. So we're going to have to draw a big circle on the side here. Starting from the top, curve around to the side of the body, back around to the right side, then make our way back up to the top. I'm going to trim out the inside. Now, starting from the top, we'll just follow that curve all the way around, leaving an even space gap around like that. Let's add some rivets on the outside. Starting from the top, we'll draw a circle, and then directly below, we'll draw another circle. On the sides here, we're going to draw 2 more. One on the left, one on the right, and then in between each of these, we're going to draw 1 more. Going all the way around. Let's tuck the arm in behind the shield. So just up here, underneath the chin, we're going to curve in behind the shield. Now the thickness of the arm is determined by what's happening on the left. So just down here, behind the chest, we'll curve down in behind the shield. We'll add an arm strap. So here, we'll curve across, and we're going to do that twice, like that. Now that we have the body in place, we could tuck the hair in behind here. So starting back up at the widow's peak, we're going to curve up, curving up to the top of the head like that. From here, we're going to do a little wave that goes all the way around. So from the top, we'll curve up, around the top of the head. Now we're going to pull it in towards the side of the head. We're going to wave it out and then down in behind the body. So going out and then curving this in behind the body like that. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Starting at the top, curve around. We're going to come in. Now we're going to go out and then back in towards the body. So going out and then tucking this in behind the body. Let's add a few little hair strands. So along this line, so we curve over towards the left. We'll do one shorter one up here. On the right, we'll curve across and over. In between the arm and the body here, I'm going to have to continue the bottom of the hair. So I'm just going to draw a little curve and across like that. We're going to draw some more hair strands coming down the sides of the face. But on the outside of the head here, it's going to curve down. On the right, we'll do the same thing, so curving down. Now we're going to pull some hairs up from the bottom. So up here, we're just going to follow that same curve, going up. You'll draw 1 more down here, and then along the right side, we'll curve up. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Chibi Wonder Woman from the Justice League. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Make sure you subscribe and check out our Chibi playlist. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.